Would have been better if I had the mic right here. Wouldn't have been. Okay, good evening, everyone. Dr. Freedom here with you. Times from Dr. News. News from in and around the universe that may or may not affect you on some deep subliminal level that could even rock your world and make you jump up and down and go zippity-doo-dah. Wait a minute. That's that song from that movie that Disney will not put out on DVD, yet zippity-doo-dah is a world-recognized theme of their parks. But okay. Oh, man, a lot of people have been going, Dr. Freedom, where have you been? And it's like, there's been a lot going on. Like I said, I've been working on Death Moon, but the problem is there hasn't really been a lot going on Doctor Who-wise, really, other than some weird stuff that's been going on. Nothing major. Like, a lot of people are freaking out because the DWSR tag's gone dead. The problem is it's gone dead because there's going to be no location filming for at least another couple more weeks. Word is that they're in studio all the way up through October, so you can kiss all that goodbye, at least for a couple weeks. Meanwhile, you got weirdos running around out there jumping up and down like it's a victory cry. It's like, no, it's not. But the saddest part is like I said, some things that happened on set that really disturb me. And like I said, I really don't want to go into it because I don't want people to get in trouble. But let's just say I wouldn't count on there being too many autograph signings anymore on set, thanks to certain folks. And I'll leave it at that. Because somebody had to, get a little too eager beaver. And I don't want people to get in trouble. I don't want people to get down on it. It's very upsetting when you see someone like Peter Capaldi being so kind and generous to the fans and somebody took advantage of it. Now, whether they did this on purpose or not, that remains to really be seen. But given the fact this person's footage wound up on how many sites and when they were named by name, which means they probably had to get permission for them to use it, I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to go too much into it because, so let's get off that. Let's get into some weird stuff. All right, now I have to get caught up because I know some of this stuff's a bit old, but, it's out there, and I've been meaning to talk to you about it. All right. Okay, first up was Doctor Who Christmas Special is absolutely beautiful and made Mark Gatiss cry. And he says it's one of Stephen Moffat's best ever scripts. Now, the problem is this. I only got one problem with Christmas in season 10 so far, and it's not all. And a lot of people have been going, how could you harp on that? You please tell me, go back and rewatch The Husbands of River Song and tell me how Nardal is going to do anything major for a plot. Nardal. Especially when he was a head in a can. But, all right, that's just my opinion on it. Some people think I'm being too negative. Sorry, that's how I am. I'm a realist. That's right. I'm quite an asshole. I'm sorry. I have to look at things, in realistic terms. Okay, so Gatiss said it made me cry, and that he told this to the audience at the Victorian and Albert Museum's talk, and this was the last week. He didn't mention if there were tears or joy or sadness, but here's his little comments on it. I'm going to leave the rest of this for you guys. There's not a whole lot left, but there's more important weird things going on that have happened, and this is it. Moffat versus Barrowman. That's right. Now, I wanted to do a video on this a lot sooner but okay, here we go. I'm probably going to get hit for this. But hang on a second. Let me make sure I got this thing shared with the sound. You people are like, oh my God, Dr. Freedom, your editing sucks. That's because I don't edit. I'm sorry, I don't believe it. Where I'm suddenly 5 miles across the screen because I had edited out a burp. All right, but here we go.
Without giving too much away, I was on a phone conversation with one of our executives, exec producers, telling me the obstacles that we have to face in order to bring it back. And I don't like to see things as obstacles because my feeling is that it's a good show, it deserves to come back, and I'm being told that it can't come back until it's got approval from certain people involved with Doctor Who, and I don't understand why one show has to have the approval of another in order to come back. But that might change when somebody leaves and somebody new and wonderful comes in. You're welcome.
Now, interpret that as you will. But is that or is not a direct attack on Steve Moffat without having to actually say his name? Plus the fact that, what would Moffat have against a Torchwood return? And he's already made a comment about this. He said, you may be aware that John Barrowman's been saying publicly that I've been blocking a new series of Torchwood. I hate to blame him if he did, because A Miracle Day really sucked. Okay, to be very clear, I haven't blocked it. I wouldn't block it. I wouldn't even be able to block it. I didn't even know a revival had been mooted until I read about it on the internet. Now, as John perfectly well knows, it's not my show, and I could no more prevent it happening that he could cancel Sherlock. Now, I'm bewildered and a little cross even to be included in this conversation. For the record, I really like the show, especially the third series. I would be very happy to see more Monsters or Mayhem. Why not? But the fact is, it has nothing to do with me. Please pass this on to the anxious and the angry. I've had enough hate mail now. And the thing of the matter is, he's right. A lot of people have misconstrued this idea that because Barrowman, his character of Captain Jack Harkness first appeared back in The Empty Child, that he is a Moffat character. No, he is not. Captain Jack Harkness has never been a Moffat character. Captain Jack Harkness was a character created by Russell T Davies that was inserted into the Moffat script. And Moffat was allowed to use that character. That character was not his. It's RTD's. If you read the writer's tale, the name Harkness is one he's used before on another character in another series. So, get that out of your minds. He does not own the character of Captain Jack Harkness. That's an RTD character. All right? So we've got that straight. Because I know a few people have been going, oh, Candy, it's a Moffat character. No, he's not. But the problem is this. Yes, the Doctor Who execs can step in and tell you can't do a show because Torchwood is a spin-off of Doctor Who. Everyone figured out yet that the Torchwood name is an anagram of Doctor Who, and that was the code name they filmed the first series of Doctor Who on to keep it, obfuscated and out of the public eye. So I don't know what drugs Barrowman was snorting at that con. I really don't wish him any ill will. Matter of fact, I'm going to be meeting him this weekend if all goes well. Now, hopefully everything's going well in his household because there was some stuff going on. But the thing is, I don't get where he's getting that from, why it would be Moffat's fault. But then again, Moffat is one of the big guys in charge of Doctor Who, and Doctor Who would have reign over Torchwood, being a spinoff. But then again, it's not like anyone wants to touch it again after the failure. Let me say that again. Failure. Because it kind of sounds like Nardole of Miracle Days. I know I pick on Nardole, okay? It's my shtick. I love picking on Nardole. Okay. Okay, TV, movie, Blu-ray update competition. This is all the stuff it's going to have. Lots of nifty stuff. But the problem is a lot of friends might have been saying it's just like that last edition, plus maybe one or two things. So leave it up to you. There's a chance to actually win in all this. Here's all the details you need. Bam, bam, bam. All right here for you, and it's good to the 30th. So even though this article's coming to you late, you can still get to it. Okay, here's the teaser image for class. Hoopty ding dong shit. Matter of fact, you're going to hate me with this one. And this is going to be broadcast via on BBC Three online. The big thing is, are they going to do it all of them at once, or are they going to do it episode by episode? That's the big question that's going on right now. So we'll find out shortly because it is coming up in October, and that is when classes do air. Moving on. Power of the Daleks at the BFI. Now, the British Film Institute has now released details about the forthcoming special event based around the new animated version of Patrick Troughton's premiere story, Power of the Daleks. Here's all the info you need to know. Tickets go on sale for the 4th of October at 11:30 a.m., and they will be priced at £22.70. And they'll include a copy of the DVD, which will be posted once released. There's a maximum of 2 tickets per booker, and chances are this is sold out already. I'd lay money on it. I didn't even bother to go back and check because, it seems like 5 minutes after these things come out, they're sold out. All right. And I screwed up here, didn't I? Oops. Sorry about that. Okay. Big Finish announced Doctor Who Classic Monsters, Classic Doctor's New Monsters Adventures. And these are really, really good. I cannot tell you this enough. If you want to really find out what happened to your favorite companion back in the classic series, listen to Big Finish. Because otherwise you're never going to see him again. Sorry, it seems like the BBC, since Sarah Jane Smith, has put a moratorium complete flat, no, on any classic companions coming back for any reason. And it's because it's kind of strange. We only had one classic companion come back on the main show since it began. And that was Sarah Jane Smith. Now, a lot of people go, Dr. Freedom, are you nuts? No, they did not. Joe Grant appeared on the Sarah Jane Adventures, as did the Brigadier. They were never on the main show again. And like I said, it's kind of sad, too, because had Sarah Jane Adventures gone on, Liz Sladen left us tragically, and she hadn't, they were going to have Ace back. There was even talks of the fourth Doctor appearing, but played by Tom Baker, and Sylvester McCoy playing the seventh Doctor. Unfortunately, that all went to the wayside when Liz Sladen passed. And also the fact that BBC are being dicks about letting any classic companions come back. Yet they'll drag back anybody from the modern era and make them an immortal super being. But okay, moving on. Oh, no, I'm being a little negative, ain't I? All right, Doctor Who Magazine number 504 celebrates 50 years old. By the way, sorry, I forgot to mention. Yeah, this one right here, of course, you should recognize this lady because it turns out the fifth Doctor will be going up against the Rachnos. At least that's what I got from the gist of the article. So, okay, so interesting setup there. And there's going to be more of these announced as they become, up for release. Matter of fact, okay, Doctor Who 504 celebrates 50 years of the Cybermen, 4 covers to choose from. And that's the classic Mondasian Cybermen right here in the front that, Peter Capaldi's always like, I want to see him come back. I believe this guy with the ping pong ball, I think that's Wheel in Space. I get them mixed up. Or is that Moonbase? Somebody let me know, okay? I get them a little mixed up every now and then. There's been all kinds of weird evolvings of the Cybermen. Like, it's funny how Cybermen went to 3 fingers for a while, as did the Sontarans, and then they weren't anymore. It was like, I couldn't tell if they're going to go, Nanu, Nanu, we're going to delete you, or live long, and no, don't live long and prosper. Get down and be deleted, something like that, whatever, And here's the 4 covers. Boom, boom, boom. Now, all right, let me mention this again before we finish up. Any one of these articles you want to go back and look at, links will be below in the description box, as always. And lastly, Sherlock, the Abominable Bride, wins 68 at the 68 Emmy Awards. Doctor Who didn't even get nominated, yet Sherlock, the dream sequence, gets a freaking Emmy. I'm sorry. I am sick and tired of shows using the classic dream MacGuffin. A lot of people are going, Dr. Freedom, you ain't even watched it. And no, I'm not going to bother because somebody walked up to me a couple days later, it was all a dream. And I'm like, really? Then what was the freaking point? That means anything I see in that episode, I'm going to know is already mooted. It's already nothing. It's already made up. It's like, and people are like, wonder why I get upset because as I use MacGuffins myself in my storytelling, but the dream sequence is the quote-unquote ultimate MacGuffin. You can have somebody get their head blown off, get their leg chopped off, and then next thing you know, oh no, look, I wake up, everything's back to normal. Hoop-de-ding-dong shit. And people are like, Dr. Freedom, why are you such a big hater of this? Because I remember all the way back on a show called Dallas when they screwed up an entire season and then said, oh, look, it was all a dream the one character had. And to me, that makes dream sequences just the ultimate cop-out. That's why I do not like dream sequence episodes and all that. Or, I was kind of leaving a little myth that Z Nation came back this week with a flashback episode. It's like, we're looking forward to what the hell happened to every frickin' body. It's a flashback episode. Go jerk off. Sorry if I sound a little angry, but that's how it is. Okay, so sorry I've been gone for a week, almost. Actually, I think it has been a week. But there's really no big news going on because all the stuff's this Christmas special is currently being filmed on location all the way through October. We got Moffat versus Barrowman, but like I said, Barrowman needs to wake up and smell the coffee because Moffat has more pull with Torchwood than he ever will. And the fact that the BBC is actually allowing, Big Finish to do them, to me, is a miracle. And like I said, if you want to listen to some good Torchwood, there's lots of good stuff coming up more for the Torchwood line because they're going back and they're doing shows with Olivia Hartman or Yvonne Hartman. I mean, you remember her, Mrs. Purchase? She's doing episodes where they're flashing back to her era. Indira Varma back as Susie. They got Tosh popping up in episodes from previous times. I think the only person who hasn't come back so far is Bern Gorman. So. But like I said, I'm getting out here because we're probably all out there now going, yeah, he's been gone for a week now. We can't get rid of him. Oh, well, so until the next time, guys, like I said, I'll try to keep my eye out, but there really hasn't been a whole lot of news. So all we can do is just keep tapering along what we have. So sayonara, good night, laters.